Are you brave enough to spend a night in one of the world's most haunted hotels? For thrill seekers and ghost hunters alike, these eerie establishments promise more than just a comfortable bed and a hot meal. They offer a portal to the past and an encounter with the paranormal.
Nope. No, thank you.
I'm Selena Spooky Boo, and welcome to the Haunted Estate. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it, buddy.
From shadowy hallways and ancient castles to eerie guest rooms of historic inns, every creak and whisper tells a story. Join us as we journey through the corridors of the world's most haunted hotels across the globe. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, these spine-tingling destinations are sure to leave you sleeping with one eye open.
I sleep with both eyes open.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Does it creep you out a little bit?
Yeah,
They're
you
just
look dead.
barely open.
You look like a Victorian child that's dying.
Why Victorian and why a
I
child?
don't know. Ask yourself.
Can I just be a Victorian man that's dying?
No, child.
Okay.
Number 1, we have the Stanley Hotel. Nestled in the picturesque Rocky Mountains, the Stanley Hotel is more than just simply an architectural wonder. It's a source of inspiration and mystery, especially known for its link to Stephen King's classic book, The Shining. Rising majestically over Estes Park, the hotel dominates this change from a natural environment to a tourist paradise. Started with an interesting beginning connected to Freeland Oscar Stanley. Early in the 20th century, Stanley, crippled with tuberculosis, sought the healing Rocky Mountain air in an attempt to recover his declining health. Against bleak predictions that he would die from this disease, Stanley astonishingly healed after only one summer in the valley and owes his recovery to these clean surroundings. Driven by the fresh vitality, Stanley and his wife Flora imagined building a posh hotel that would capture the grandeur of eastern venues, but inside the untamed beauty of the western terrain. First opened in 1909, the Stanley Hotel soon came to represent luxury. Given its modern conveniences, electricity, phones, and professionally staffed services, which were rare in such a far-off location, its guests were amazed for decades. It was a sought-after haven for those looking for a break from the busy East Coast. But the hotel's fortunes fell in the 1970s, when neglect reduced it to a shell of its former splendor. It was on possible demolition until a remarkable occurrence connected it to Stephen King and gave it a fresh new life. King had a clear dream in room 217, while staying at the Stanley, which inspired The Shining. This terrible inspiration made the hotel a cultural monument, known for its spooky appeal.
It all depends on who owns that hotel, but that could be the best thing ever or the worst thing ever.
Yeah. King's narrative isn't the only one that shaped Stanley's past. There are numerous others as well. Especially in 1911 event involving Elizabeth Wilson, the chief chambermaid, strengthened its image as haunted. Wilson escaped apparently miraculously after a gas leak brought on by a flood exploded into room 217. Wilson is said to still haunt the room. Guests have experienced strange occurrences like cleaner rooms and mystery bed making at night.
Oh, please, hook me up with that.
Can you imagine?
I'll take a bed-making ghost anytime.
Dish is done when you wake up, baby!
Right?
Other former occupants, including Stanley himself, are rumored to still hang about the hotel. Although Freeland's wife, Flora's spirit, is said to be playing the piano, his apparition is commonly felt in the bar and billiard area. More recent reports from guests and staff, including illnesses and the haunting laughter of children on the 4th floor, support these tales of spirit activity and have only heightened Stanley's notoriety as a haunted hotspot. The Stanley Hotel still fascinates guests for more than just its historical value and elegant surroundings. From secrets that seem to wander its hallways, whether via Stephen King's written horrors or the hushed traditions of those who have wandered its halls, it is evidence of the potency of its narrative. Let's take a break from the video because I need to show you this game because I absolutely love it. June's Journey is a hidden object mystery game that is so captivating because it's all centered around a crime and the glamour of the 1920s. I honestly can't put this game down because I love the old-timey feel and it feels so good when I complete a scene and get closer to solving the mystery. Not only do I get to solve a crime, but I get to decorate and design my mansion while I'm at it. So this game is called June's Journey, right? June is the main character and she's traveled home to solve the murder of her sister, Claire. Along the way, you get to uncover endless family secrets. June's Journey is a free to download game that is going to feel like a present to yourself. Who doesn't want to customize and fix their own mansion, garden, island? I'm not gonna lie, my evening hours are full of trying to find hidden objects. That's my favorite part. I just feel so relaxed after. Remember that book Clue from when you were a kid? It's like that, but better. Download June's Journey for free by clicking the link in the description or scanning the QR code on the screen. June's Journey is available on Android and iOS mobile devices, as well as on PC through Facebook Games. Tell me below where you are in the game, and thanks to June's Journey for sponsoring the show. I'm off to play this, because I finally found the fan! Number 2, the Chelsea Hotel in New York City. Nestled at 222 West 23rd Street in New York City, the old Hotel Chelsea is a stronghold of artistic energy and paranormal mystery. With its deep red brick facade and its mix of Victorian Gothic and Queen Anne styles, this architectural gem not only grabs the eyes with its wrought iron balconies and grand staircases, but also inspires the imagination with its rich history of inventiveness and unsettling stories of lingering spirits. From Mark Twain to the Grateful Dead, Janis Joplin, Lou Reed, and even Andy Warhol, who filmed there, the Hotel Chelsea sometimes is referred to as the cauldron of creativity. It has welcomed an array of powerful cultural giants, drawn maybe more by the simpleness of its creative energy. It became a destination for rebels and artists. Because certain visitors' spirits are entwined with the hotel's fabric, there is conjecture that some never really left. Among the spectral occupants, Mary's narrative jumps out. Having survived the Titanic catastrophe, she lost her spouse in the event and reportedly committed herself to the hotel, filled with loss. Often seen behind an archway, Mary sometimes is known as the vain ghost. She's always staring into a mirror, a spectral mirror of her continual grief. Another sad story is that of Nadia, the daughter of a rich silk merchant, grown up at the Chelsea's lap of luxury. At heart an artist, a turbulent marriage cut off her dreams. Seeking solace and atonement, Nadia came to the Chelsea after her husband passed from drinking and left her with their children. Said to have jumped to her death from a window, overwhelmed by the rigors of her new life, her presence is seen today prowling 23rd Street sidewalks in a wispy robe, a reminder of hopes put off. Number 3, the Langham Hotel, London. Established in 1865, the Langham Hotel in London is not only among the most famous properties in the city, but also a pilgrimage for those interested in ghosts. With almost 500 rooms and suites, this stately hotel has been the scene for many paranormal occurrences, especially during the BBC ownership. At least 5 frequent spectral residents started to show themselves during this time, mesmerizing staff and members as well as visitors. The most well-known of these phantoms is a German police or nobleman who jumped from an upper-story window and perished, often accompanied by freezing drop in temperature, a classic indicator of his ghostly presence. Guests have claimed to see his ethereal form going through walls and closed doors. Considered the most haunted room in the hotel is room 333. A terrifying allegation on ghoststory.co.uk claims that the BBC newscaster woke to find a fluorescent ball of light gradually changing into a human form. This ghost lacked the lower half of its legs and showed up in extravagant Victorian evening wear, floating 2 feet above the ground. The surprised newscaster tried to speak, but then he ran in horror as the ghost advanced with vacant eyes and outstretched arms. Later on, he came back with a colleague and saw the apparition was less obvious, but it finally disappeared completely. October is supposed to be especially lively in this chamber, which gives its story seasonal eeriness. The Langham's spectral inhabitants have not only been confined to chilling sightings, some guests have experienced the unexplained phenomenon that has disturbed their stays significantly, notably during the England cricket team's residence at the hotel. Several players and their partners reported unsettling occurrences. Stuart Broad, one of the team's bowlers, recounted a bizarre episode which he was kept awake by the inexplicably active taps in his bedroom. The water fixtures turned on by themselves in the dark, prompting him to switch rooms in the middle of the night. Broad's experience was not an isolated incident. Other team members, including Ben Stokes, also faced sleepless nights attributed to paranormal disturbances. The hotel's reputation for hauntings has affected not only those who stay temporarily, but even those who might otherwise enjoy the luxury and history of the Langham. Reports from the players like Moeen Ali revealed that their significant others refused to stay, driven away by the fear of encountering one of the hotel's many ghosts. Woo. Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted reputation, the Langham's Hotel remains a fascinating destination for those intrigued by the supernatural. It offers a unique blend of luxury and mystery. The stories of its ghosts weave through the fabric of its history, from Victorian nobles to modern-day cricket stars, each adding layers to its enigmatic allure. The Langham, therefore, stands as more than just a historic hotel. It's a portal to the past, a witness to centuries of human drama, and a keeper of the secrets that manifest as whispers in the halls and shadows in the room. Number 4, the Russell Hotel. Tucked into one of Sydney's oldest and most historic areas, the Rocks, the Russell Hotel is not only evidence of Australia's colonial past, but also a focal point for ghostly stories and frightening encounters. Drawing both thrill seekers and the inquisitive alike, this little hotel, with its legendary past as a temporary residence for sailors, a suspected brothel, and a scene of many murders, pulses with an exceptionally high concentration of paranormal activity. Darker histories of the Russell Hotel include some terrifying incidents like the murder of a sailor at the hands of a prostitute and the strange death of Senior Constable Henry Moreau in 1897, who was discovered with an unidentified wound at the rear of his skull. Many people believe that these horrific historical occurrences have given the hotel a strong spectral energy, which attracts ghostly activities.
Ooh.
Room number 8 is definitely the core of Russell's haunted reputation. Here, the deceased sailor's ghost is supposed to persist and show up as women sleep alone in their beds.
Pervert.
Reports state that he shows up at the foot of the bed, a disturbing presence for the residents of the chamber. The reputation of this chamber for haunting attracts people fascinated with the prospect of running across the supernatural.
Do you think there's people that just want to get watched by him?
I might be one of them. Still, the mysterious events at the Russell Hotel transcend from Room 8. There are plenty of ghostly activity reports in other areas of the property. Rooms 20 and 24 also have their own stories of the unexplainable experiences of visitors, encountering different paranormal events. The woman in white is said to haunt the downstairs section, which consists of the kitchen, the bar, and the dining room. She is frequently observed walking these areas in historical clothing that would indicate that she might have been a maid or a nurse in a former life. Other typical haunting symptoms abound in the property, especially when climbing the stairway. One often hears disembodied footfall. The Russell Hotel's paranormal tapestry includes a sudden temperature decreases, sensations of discomfort, electronic devices turning on and off by themselves, inexplicable screams from empty rooms, and the sightings of individuals that vanish into thin air.
Bye.
Right? Toodaloo! Fascinating, these ghost events have apparently gotten more severe lately with renovations. It is hypothesized that the renovation projects may have agitated the spirits, leading to more restless and active than usual roaming. As one of Sydney's most haunted sites, this increases the paranormal disturbances that simply accentuated the appeal of the hotel.
Doesn't appeal to me.
Nah, bro. Down under. The Russell Hotel presents a special chance
for
people drawn to locations where the barrier separating the present from the past is thin to investigate the supernatural. Whether one believes in ghosts or is just enthralled by history and its unresolved riddles, the Russell Hotel provides the ideal backdrop for
I got some back drawers for you.
Wait, do you want to go inside? The echoes of the past for exploring. You got me frazzled.
Okay.
The Russell Hotel provides the ideal backdrop for exploring the echoes of past times and maybe come across something quite beyond explanation. I need some tea, bitch.
Oh, that was probably Mike murder on people's ears.
Hold on. Number 5, Dragsholm Castle. Perched near Nexello Bay in Zealand, the island that Copenhagen calls home, Dragsholm Castle boasts a vista of breathtaking waterfronts and reclaimed agricultural landscapes. This castle, with its origins tracing back to 1215, when it was constructed by the Bishop of Roskilde, has witnessed a history as dramatic as the view it offers. Once a palatial structure and later a fortified refuge during the tumultuous courts feud in the 1530s, Dragsholm has evolved through eras of war, reformation, and royal intrigue.
It legitimately sounds like somewhere we should visit.
I want to
see a
take
castle.
naked pictures of you on a balcony.
Okay. Continue.
Okay. Just thirsty.
For tea, right? Yeah.
The castle's storied past does not end with its architectural or historical significance. It is equally renowned for its otherworldly residents. Over the centuries, Dragsholm has accumulated tales of spectral appearances and ghostly whispers, contributing to its reputation as one of Denmark's most haunted castles. Psychics and mediums have identified several persistent spirits within its walls, each with a story etched into the very stones of the castle. One of the most compelling figures is the Earl of Bothwell, James Hepburn, known historically as the third husband of Mary, Queen of Scots. Their marriage, mired in controversy and scandal, was the product of a religious and political upheaval of the Reformation. Fleeing conflicts in Scotland, Hepburn was captured in Norway and subsequently imprisoned at Dragsholm by the Danish king. His tragic end came as he was chained to a pillar in the castle, where he died in miserable conditions at the age of 44. It's a long life for that.
Yeah.
It is said that his restless spirit haunts the courtyard of Dragsholm, occasionally manifesting with the sounds of a horse hooves, and then seen riding in a ghostly carriage. Another spectral inhabitant is the White Lady, believed to be Selena Bovles? Spelled the same way as me?
A nobleman's daughter.
I have hard nipples.
Whoa.
A nobleman's daughter whose tragic love story is woven into the fabric of the castle's history. Let's go down. I'm horny for this.
Okay, calm your sexual
She has my name.
energy
I think
going
she's me.
on
We need to
over
look into
there,
this.
Okay? It's getting steamy in here.
Betrothed for an advantaged marriage, Selena fell in love with a commoner working at the castle. Despite an initial compromise allowing the romance, Selena's pregnancy before her wedding enraged her father, who had her walled up in the castle's basement, leading to her death. In the 1930s, renovations inadvertently corroborated her tale when a skeleton was found behind the basement's wall. Today, her mournful spirit is often sighted in white, roaming the castle and lamenting her lost love.
Oh, I'm your lost love.
No, you're right there.
Oh.
Don't go anywhere. I love you.
I love you too, buddy.
Complementing these sorrowful tales is the story of the Grey Lady, a happier spirit, remembered for her gratitude. Having once worked at the castle, she developed a severe toothache, which the castle's master attempted to treat with a poultice. Although the remedy initially provided relief, an infection later claimed her life. Her spirit is to be said to linger the castle, performing good deeds for residents and visitors alike, as a token of thanks to a master who eased her pain. These ghostly tales are set against a backdrop of Dragsholm's imposing history. This rich history, combined with those vivid accounts of those who have claimed to encounter its ghosts, makes Dragsholm's castle a fascinating destination for those interested in the supernatural or the historical offering of a glimpse into the past that refuses to be forgotten. Today, Dragsholm serves as both a historical monument and a modern hotel where guests can sleep in rooms that once served as prison cells, perhaps experiencing the moans in the walls that echo from its storied
no
walls.
thanks.
Yeah, man. It's like, ooh, you know what sounds like fun? Walls and prisons and screaming spirits. Actually does kind of sound fun, doesn't
For
it?
you.
People who visit Dragsholms are sure to find themselves stepping into a world where the past lives on in both story and spirit. Number 6, Nottingham Road Hotel. Nestled in a pivotal crossroads near Fort Nottingham and the Nottingham Road Hotel, affectionately known as Notties, stands as a testament to rich history that dates back to 1854. This historic inn, located where the road to the interior intersects with the route to Fort Nottingham, served as a critical waypoint for horse-drawn coaches long before the advent of the railway. The narrative of Notties Hotel, as we know it today, begins with its purchase in 1889 by George Orwin, following the demise of the landowner, James Ellis, and his sister, Janet King. Acquiring the land for a substantial sum of £125 per acre.
That's a lot back then.
That's a deal, though. A notable figure for the era, Orwin, capitalized on the site's strategic location to construct what was initially dubbed the Railway Hotel in alignment with the burgeoning railway development in the area. The significance of the railway to the Midlands cannot... I'm gonna myself.
1 hour later.
The significance of the railway to the Midlands cannot be overstated. The arrival of the railway line at Nottingham Road by the end of 1885 revolutionized local life, ushering in a new era of connectivity. It facilitated a daily postal system and expedited the transport of local produce to urban markets, thereby invigorating the region's economy and settlement viability. The station, originally known as Harrison's Camp and later renamed Nottingham Road Station, became a focal point for the community. Constructed by Mr. C. Morgan and completed in 1891, the so-called Railway Hotel quickly became the hub of Nottingham Road's social life. This gracious two-story establishment with its sprawling lawns offered guests a blend of leisure and luxury, from tennis courts to a billiards room, along with opportunities for shooting and horse riding.
Sounds like they were living in luxury.
Honestly, sounds so good. By the turn of the century, the Singleton family had taken the reins of the hotel, further cementing a high status, a central gathering spot for locals. The hotel's pub, known for its dark wood-paneled ambiance and warm log fires, became a favorable local haunt, drawing patrons for both casual drinks and more formal gatherings like the Nottingham Road Farmers Association meetings. Tales of the farmers' drunken misadventures, including a humorous incident where a prankster swapped horses, leading to a confused and misguided journeys home, added a touch of whimsy to the hotel's storied past. Tragedy, too, is woven into the hotel's historical fabric. One notable account involves a farmer, Christopher Groom, who was caught in a storm near the hotel. He was struck by lightning, miraculously surviving, with his horse less fortunate. Oh, horse took the hit. Groom's ordeal epitomizes the dramatic encounters that have colored the hotel's legacy. Adding a spectral layer to its narrative, the hotel is reputed to be haunted by the spirit of a woman named Charlotte. Described affectionately as a chambermaid or a woman of dubious repute, Charlotte's tragic end, having allegedly leapt or been pushed to her death down the staircase, adds ghostly allure to the hotel, particularly in room 10, where she is said to manifest, tidying rooms and adjusting flower arrangements and display of eternal housekeeping.
Imagine pushing someone down a set of stairs.
Can you imagine cleaning for the rest of your spectral life?
Right?
I'd rather take the stairs.
That is literal hell. I think she is in hell. What did she do?
What did you do? Today, the Nottingham Road Hotel continues to thrive as a beloved landmark in the Midlands. Whether guests are drawn by its historical charm, the ghostly tales, or simply the cozy comfort of its pub and dining facilities, Notties remains a cornerstone of local tradition, weaving together stories of yesteryear with the threads of modern hospitality.
I guess it's hospitable. She's cleaning. She's cleaning in there all the time.
Right? You don't have to pay. That's some cheap That's some cheap labor. Therapy? Why'd I say therapy?
Ghost labor. That's 2030. It's coming. AI is gonna figure out how to tap into ghost labor.
Can you imagine, dude? We need to make a whole video on AI. Number 7, the Bell Hotel. Norfolk echoes the past in a haunted inn. Situated on the main square of the quaint village in Norfolk, the Bell Hotel, with its 375-year history, holds more than just the charm of an old-age inn. It harbors stories of love, loss, and hauntings that transcend generations. Despite its modest appearance, the inn exudes an air of mystery, particularly through its tales of ghostly occurrences that have intrigued both locals and visitors alike. The narrative of the Bell Hotel is deeply entwined with its spectral residents, particularly in room 29. Known as one of the most haunted spaces within the inn, this room was the tragic scene where Mabel, a linen maid, during the inn's days of a coaching stop, ended her life. The story unfolds with Mabel's lover, a local young man, unwittingly conscripted into the army after being coaxed into taking the king's shilling by passing soldiers. Grief-stricken by the news of his death at war and overwhelmed by her pregnancy, Mabel hanged herself in what is now room 29. This room is not only the part of the hotel with eerie disturbances. The first floor bar and adjacent restaurant have also witnessed unexplained paranormal activities. One account from the staff details an incident where the table settings in the restaurant were mysteriously rearranged when a waitress momentarily stepped out. Despite the restaurant having only one door at the time, she was certain no one had entered during her brief absence, adding to the room's mysterious aura.
Oh, there are people in there.
Further compounding the hotel's haunted reputation is the tale of a ghostly serving girl dressed in 18th century attire who appears to have a protective streak, particularly towards children. This apparition is believed to be a maid murdered by Jacobites in 1745.
Who are Jacobites?
I have no idea. We're going to need to look that up.
Yeah.
Her presence has been felt in various forms over the decades. In the 1930s, she was seen tending to the asthmatic son of the landlord, patting his back during a coughing fit before vanishing as the father arrived. The same room, used as a nursery in the 1950s, was the scene where a landlady witnessed the spectral maid looming over the baby, only to disappear when she was approached.
Ooh, stay away from my baby.
Dude! Adding to the darker shade of these hauntings is a ghost of a soldier from the top floor. Often described by paranormal investigators as emanating an utterly evil presence, this spirit, possibly linked to the Jacobite soldiers, adds a chilling layer to the hotel's paranormal spectrum.
Last one.
Number 8, the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. Nestled on Hollywood Boulevard, we've been by there.
Yep.
The Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel is a destination for the supernatural as well for movie buffs and celebrity gazers. Originally opened on May 15th, 1927, this elegant 12-story hotel has housed Tinseltown's elite during the first Oscars in 1929. Its walls are rich in ghost stories and mystery as much as Hollywood's history. None else than Marilyn Monroe is the most well-known spectral occupant of the hotel. The fabled link of the icon with the Roosevelt is Monroe posed for her first commercial print ad, here on the diving board of the hotel pool. Still, the tale does not finish with the glitter of celebrity. Staff members and guests have claimed to see ghostly figures swimming in the pool, maybe trying to replicate Monroe's splash, especially since the artist, David Hockney, restored its artwork. The spirit vibe around the Tropicana pool is obvious.
Imagine swimming with spirits. I feel like ghosts and stuff like.
I don't want to be in a pool with a ghost.
No?
No, because they're going to drown you.
Oh, I was thinking cannonballs, but.
Can you imagine we're just in the backyard and someone does a cannonball in my pool?
Yeah, and the water just splashes, but you don't see anybody.
The first sales sign would go up that day.
Ooh,
Bye.
I don't know, buddy. I think the tourist sign would go up.
Hey! Marilyn stayed in the hotel not only near the pool, she often withdrew to a cabana on the second story, gazing over the watery oasis during her explosive career. One of the more eerie stories centers on a full-length mirror the hotel supplied, which Marilyn used often. A hotel maid noticed a depressed-looking blonde woman reflected in the same mirror after her death. Nobody was around when the maid spun around to offer help. Although the mirror has vanished from public view, travelers can still reserve and stay in the Marilyn Monroe suite, furnished with classic furniture, and maybe experience some of her residual gloss. But Marilyn is hardly the only restless soul said to prowl the Roosevelt's hallways. Another famous ghost of the hotel is a 4-time Academy Award contender, Montgomery Clift, staying in room 928. While getting ready for his part in the 1953 film From Here to Eternity, Clift, known for his rigorous acting technique and turbulent personal life, stayed a nod to Clift's role as an army bugler. Guests in this room have reported strange events, including radios turning on and off by themselves, a sudden temperature change, and even the sound of a bugle echoing down the corridor.
A bugle?
Bugle boy! Beyond Roosevelt, Hollywood's ghostly stories sweep over the city. Said to haunt her former studio, now part of Paramount Pictures, Lucille Ball, the daring star of I Love Lucy, night guards have claimed to have smelled her unique floral scent and seen her ethereal form drifting in the hallways. So guys, I'm curious, have you ever stayed in a haunted hotel? I think my favorite...
We have a few times.
We have a few times. I
don't
really like the
it.
Crescent. I really like Crescent Hotel. What one have you been at? The Mill.
The Mill.
The Mill was scary. That video
Mill
is really
was
cool.
insane.
Check out The Mill. Here it is right here. You can click on it. Guys, I really hope you like this video. If you want me to talk about more paranormal topics, please drop it below. But don't forget, we drink the tea before we spill the tea. Drop your drama. Love you. Bye. Bye. Perched near Nexello Bay in New Zealand, the island that Copenhagen calls home, drags home
Hold on a
I
second.
did all those words and you said hold on. I got all those words and you weren't even on the ball, bro.